See, a lot of times we think the world that we live in is normal or should work the way that we think it works, but a lot of times no. Like a lot of times this world operates off of reverse psychology, right? A lot of times when you act like you don't want anything from people is when they want to deal with you or when they want to get to know you. If you show up for a job interview and you act like you don't really need the job, they're more confident in you and they want to offer it to you. Or when you act like you don't want any attention or you don't seek attention, attention finds you, right? Um, Things operate opposite of what you think it should work, right? And I started to notice a lot of times that happens with women too. When you act like you're not looking at anybody, you're not interested in anybody, you don't even want anybody. All of a sudden, they start looking at you. They start asking you for your information, for your social media, for your phone number. And this world, a lot of times, operates in the opposite, right? When you're chilling and you're by yourself and you're in solitude, that's when people want to come up to you. They want to get to know you. They want to figure you out. They want to ask you questions. They want to be a friend. They want to, you know what I mean? But when you're around people and you're trying to make friends, is when people push you away. And I'm bringing this up because we have to learn how to operate. Talking about self mastery, you got to learn how to move with security. When you're chasing after something, it's always going to run away from you. When you're seeking, and when you're kind of like thirsty for, it don't have to be dating. It could be for an opportunity. It could be for money. It could be for love. It could be for validation. When you're like so thirsty for, when you're dependent on people, when like if somebody doesn't give you something, if they deprive you of what you want, and that bothers you, they have power over you. Don't let people have power over you. Know that everything that you need, God is going to supply to you. That's real spirituality, man. God is going to supply you whatever you need, right? And when you come down from that place, when you get just silly minded, and you get all insecure, and you feel like somebody has something that you really need, and if you don't get it, you're gonna lose something or you're gonna miss out. They have power over you. They could dangle whatever you want in front of your face, and if you don't get it, you're gonna squirm. And don't be like that, man. Move with security. Be emotionally independent, and we gotta move with power out here as men and women. You gotta move with power. You gotta know that everything that you really need, eventually you'll get it, right? Don't be desperate for an opportunity. Know that you are the opportunity. A lot of times we look at things outside of ourselves as more valuable, but you are the value. I walk around feeling like nothing happens without me. Like whatever I touch is gonna turn to gold. Whatever I do is gonna be good, and it usually does. Why? Because I think that way. I say so because I say so. I think that way, and I just feel that about myself. So whatever I do generally becomes successful. Generally becomes good, right? You have to come into your God self, knowing that you are the God of your reality. And you don't need to be head over heels and bending over backwards and compromising yourself to get anything you need in this world, because people are always going to use that against you. They'll manipulate you. They'll take advantage of you. They'll abuse you because once somebody knows that you really need something that they have, or they'll abuse you. They'll mistreat you. They'll kind of bully you. They'll verbally abuse you, emotionally abuse you, sometimes physically abuse you, financially abuse you, because they know at the end of the day you got to take what they're dishing out, or else you're not going to get what you want from them, right? Don't let nobody have that kind of power over you. And I was thinking about this because I noticed that in the times where before I really started to develop myself and I was kind of like seeking things outside of myself, whether it's validation, love, sometimes as men earlier on, you think that the more energy you give a woman is the better chance you have with her, but it's actually the exact opposite. When you stand, you know, firm and secure in yourself, and you know you that boy, when you know you that boy, when you know you the man, and you know you the woman, and you know that you understand your value, you know your value, things what's supposed to be for you comes to you. You don't have to chase. You don't have to worry. You don't have to stress. Um, so a lot of people get lost, man, and they wonder why they're not getting what they want. They're trying. They're trying. They're trying. Why am I not? That's why, because you're trying. When you stop trying and you start being, you start existing, and you start really vibrating on a higher frequency, knowing that you already have what you want and have what you need, and only good things can come to you, only good things can happen for you. When you start thinking in a more positive light and you're thinking more positive about what you want in your life or your goals, just you feel like it's going to happen, eventually it will. You'll attract the things, people, and opportunities that will make that thing that you want happen. All right. So when you radiate and vibrate on that frequency, you attract things to you. You don't have to chase. You don't have to operate in desperation. You don't have to make a fool out of yourself. You don't have to bow down. Never bow down before any man. Only bow down to God. All right. Um. Yeah, man. And when you just exist, when you're just being, and you just operating in more of a flow state, understanding that you're gonna eventually get everything that you want, everything that's for you, that's meant for you, life becomes a lot easier. The biggest lie is that life is hard. I used to hear that all the time growing up. Oh, life is gonna be so hard, kids. Well, life is, it can be very hard, but a lot of times we make it harder than it needs to be. It's actually pretty easy when you stop trying and you start being and you start thinking more positive and you start moving with that energy throughout the world, assuming what you want, knowing that it's gonna happen one way or another. You'll attract it to you. Um, I just thought I'd share that with y'all, man, because how you move in the world and the energy that you put out or energy that you walk with can truly, really influence your outcomes, your experiences. And if you walking into a room desperate, people are gonna be like, "Ew, let's get away from us, right? Get away from me." But if you walk into the room feeling like God walked in the room with you, and you already have everything that you want, people respect you because desperation gets looked down on. But security and confidence is currency, and people are gonna want to be a part of your energy field once they sense that you're the type of person that's secure in who you are, and you're gonna get what you want, and you feel like you already have it. Now they want to be on your team because in your mind you've already won before anything ever happened because you're assuming the success. You already got it before it even happened. And eventually, when you start thinking like that, and your mind is hell bent and strong, and you're really willful, and that you already have what you want, you only attract good to you, and only good things happen for you and to you, it'll be true. The mind is extremely powerful in what we think about, our dominant thoughts. If you think about losing, you're gonna lose. If you think about winning, you'll win. If you think about having what you want, you'll and walk around feeling like you already have it, you'll have it eventually. Every time. You can alter your reality just by the way that you're thinking. And people feel that, and it makes them want to either be around you or make them want to get the hell away from you. So stay powerful, man. Peace.